Hi, Cancer. Happy New Year. I'm Pam, and welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading for the year of 2015 and for the month of January 2015. This month, I received many requests for a yearly reading, and I thought I give a yearly reading almost in every reading because my spirit guides like to talk about the entire year each month. So I've been trying my best to do it that way, although my guides really don't like to be pigeonholed into time. They like to say things in their manner. However, I did give it a go, and I've divided the cards up by the 4 quarters of the year. So there's a card representing each quarter, and then I pulled an additional card just for the month of January, and I'm going to conclude the reading with a card from the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses deck for the entire year. Now, I have to say, if you are not seeing this reading on January 1st, I apologize because I recorded the first 4 readings and then got sick with the flu. And it was quite a struggle to get through it during the Christmas holidays, and I'm still not completely over it. So I'm hoping that I have gotten through all my recordings and edited them all, and that you are actually watching this on January 1st. That's what I'm shooting for. The first card you have in your reading today, Cancer, for the year of 2015, in the time period of the first quarter, January, February, and March, you have the 8 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles is a card that symbolizes to me, this is the card of the apprentice. This is mastering a craft, learning a new skill, and putting all your focus and attention on enhancing and developing your new skill or your new job or your new work, and financial abundance from your efforts. I hear you're now seeing things in a new light, and any kind of training or education you've been doing is really paying off for you now. I feel that business or work has been slow moving for you, but now it's on the upswing. I feel that looking back on the past, everything you thought about the past has now changed, and that you're grappling with some new concepts and new ideas. And I feel that you really don't want to take business from anybody that doesn't appreciate you or your true skills. And I feel that in the months of January, February, and March are kind of testing times for you, where you need to prove yourself and hone your skills. And I feel that you're polishing yourself up and putting your best foot forward because you do not want to be passed by for any bonuses, pay raises, or promotions. You've been under the gun and under some kind of scrutiny for a little while now, but I feel that that's coming to a close or getting ready to come to a close. Your thinking outside of the box is finally paying off. And people are starting to recognize your talents and innovations and innovative thinking. I hear legalities will change, that you may be asked to take on additional responsibilities at your job, or your job is going to change and you're going to be working in a different area, section, or department. You may be asked to streamline productions of things, and taking some kind of overview or managerial role also comes up here. You may be afraid and feel like, uh-oh, I'm really getting into it. I don't want problems, but I feel that you are going to get financial abundance and an increase in your finances by doing this. You're going to get some accolades and some recognition for some ideas that you had come up with that have gotten implemented, some ideas from the past that are getting implemented now. or even soon to get implemented. I feel that some of you have taken the time to research something about your work or your job or whatever tasks that you've been given and really look into details and the finer points of things, and this has actually helped you. And if you haven't done that yet, I feel that you're on the verge of doing it and it will help you. I feel that you also need to remember that camaraderie with coworkers and other employees is important. So if you don't like some things that have been going on, or there's some things that you would like to put your foot down and, you know, call to the mat, I wouldn't do that yet because I feel like it will be detrimental to you in the first quarter of the year. You have to show group spirit or company spirit, even if you don't fully agree with some of the things that are going on, only because timing is essential here. And if you start blowing the whistle or tooting the horn on some of these people that are slackers or, cutting corners or not doing things in the right manner, you are going to be seen in an ill light. And so you don't really want to do that in the first 3 months of the year. Bite your tongue and bide your time. Try to get along with everybody and ease your way into it, because I do feel many of you are going to have responsibility thrust upon you, handed to you, whatever word you want to use. And again, you may feel like you don't think you want it, but in the long run, it will be to your benefit. Because I do feel that for some of you Cancerian people out there, you are going to be climbing the ladder of success. Well, keep in mind, this is a general reading. The only way to get a reading specifically for you is to get a private reading. So these messages are general, so hopefully they're going to make sense to some of you out there. I also feel that some of you out there are actually going to start taking notes on what other people are doing where they could be more effective, and share that at a later date. So any improprieties you see going on, any slacking, or any just bad decision making or ineffectiveness by the employees around you, I feel that you're going to keep record of it, and then later you'll be able to bring it to their attention or discuss it with your superiors, and then it'll be handled in a different way. If you just start like shooting off the cuff at different ones and say, you're not doing that right, and you need to change what you're doing there, you're going to build enemies and resentment, and this is not going to bode well for you for this year. So it's all about the delicacies of how to handle people at the workplace and moving forward. Now, in the second quarter of the year, which is April, May, and June, you have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords to me this could either be a male or a female, usually a child, but even adults are showing up as pages lately. This would be an air sign. This would be either a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius. Now, this is someone who has a keen mind and a keen intellect. They're good at problem solving. They're a good person to have on your team. They like to get to the heart of the matter and to the root of the problem about things. They like to ferret out the truth. They're very chatty. They can be very talkative, and they can be interesting to what you hear pops out of their mouth. On the negative side of the Knight of Swords, they can be detrimental to situations because they can be kind of verbally abusive with their words. They can be too blunt. They sometimes have a little bit of drama that follows them around. They can stir up things, upheaval, dramas. And they can also be prone to like confused thinking, like confusion and scattering their energies and scattering their thinking and their forces and their energies. They can be very clairvoyant. The air signs can be very clairvoyant and future seeing. There's somebody in your life that's calling out for attention and they want some kind of help. And they're kind of like a troubled youth, and I feel like they're hiding behind some kind of blanket of suspicion. And you know they don't want to be where they are. They're not happy where they are. They don't want to be where they are, and they're feeling like they're being forced into the situation or into the position of where they are or where they're living. I feel schooling has actually become too much for them, where they want a break. They don't want to deal with it anymore. If this is a child that's in high school, they might tell you they want to drop out or get a GED instead of graduating school. If this is a college student, I feel they're going to say they want to take a break from college, take a semester off. There's some kind of break they want to take from their schooling. They're going through a feeling of wasting their time, and they don't like where they are for some reason, and this is causing them some kind of depression. You're going to give them that opportunity to step back and step away from it. So if this is your child, I feel that you're going to say okay and let them change their course of action. Maybe they're going to stop going to regular public school and they'll go to a vocational school and study a trade. Or maybe they're in college and you're going to let them take a semester off, or take a semester off and then maybe they're going to change schools or change their major. There is some sort of change that's going to occur with this child. And they really, really feel that they need you to listen to them. They want you to hear what they're saying, and they don't want you to make snap judgments about why they're doing this. It's not because they are lazy or they just don't want to be at school. There's other things going on here that are causing this child to feel depression, or this young person to feel depression. And I feel there's an overwhelming sense of that they have to feel like they're being them, and they don't want to be pigeonholed or put into any one particular group. I feel that this child is really very caught up into a wave of emotions. They're not feeling very stable or secure right now. And they want your stability and support through these changes that they need to make. They will end up doing the career that they're supposed to do and what's best for them and what makes them happy, but they're not going to be able to do that continuing on the course of action that they're taking right now. I do feel that you will be giving them support and understanding. And I do feel that you'll be very happy about it, because I feel next year, in the year of 2016, that they make a very big turnaround with their life. And you see them come out of some kind of hole that they've been in, or some kind of darkness, and then they emerge, and then they're like a whole different person, all the way around, emotionally, attitude-wise, how they present themselves. Right now, I feel like this child is presenting themselves like quite frumpy, or, like only wearing, grungy clothes, or just dragging themselves around in sweats, not really caring about their appearance, very lackluster, conversation, kind of wallowing in like depression or sadness. And it could come off looking like, oh, it's just being a rebellious teenager or a teenager in angst. And it's not really that. It is, but it isn't. There is depression going on here. They really need some kind of revitalizing and boost to their self-esteem and their ego. And it's not going to work if they keep running on the channel that they're on right now. You may also find that there's somebody in the circle that they're running with that is kind of putting them to the test, or putting them in a weird position, like making them feel like they're under some kind of pressure, under the gun, being challenged, or having to prove themselves. And this is very exhausting and tiring to this child. Um, Now, in the third quarter of your year, you have an excellent card, Cancer, and this has come up. This happened before, months ago. I don't remember whether it was August or whether it was July. I don't know, but it was a few months back. This happened for the signs, and it's happening again. There's quite a few signs where certain cards keep popping up, and the Eight of Pentacles, which was your first card, was one of those. And this card, which is Ten of Cups, also has come up for several of the signs. And this is a card that, to me, it's like the American dream. It's like the happy home, the happy family, the happy situation, happy children, the good health, the nice surroundings, great emotions of love abound. I feel that you're going to be settling into a new home, and across the board, I feel that's true for many Cancerian people in the third quarter of the year. And I feel that you're going to be feeling really good about this for those of you that this does apply to, because I feel like you're going to be really happy with putting down roots. Like you're really going to feel like you have roots and getting yourself into a solid foundation of a home. I feel that this partner that you're with, you feel very strongly bound to, and you two are very strong as a team or as a couple. I feel like it's finally like you've got the brass ring, because I feel that there was a lot of issues to get to where you are in this relationship. I don't feel it was a road that you traveled on easily to get there. I feel that it was fraught with competition, with jealousy, with envy, with people trying to throw you off your game or to break up the relationship. There was outside interferences. There were interferences from some exes here. There was like a great deal of pressure coming to you from all sides, and coming to you as a couple from all sides. If you have not tied the knot yet, if this is going to be a marriage, I feel that you are going to do so in the month of July. And you are going to be getting a lot of congratulations and kudos for having traveled so far, how you have made it. You're going to feel like the joys of God are smiling on you. Many of you will be taking your family to the next level. So if you don't have any children, I feel you will embark on having them. And kind of working together as a team to putting a plan of how you want your life as a couple to move forward. For any of you that are a couple that are in a city, I feel that you're going to be purchasing a country home or a home away from the city. So some of you may not actually be moving from where you live most of the year, but I get that there will be a weekend getaway place or a summer vacation place that you'll be purchasing. So if you don't purchase a home in July that you move to and live in all year round, you will be purchasing a summer home. And I do see you surrounded by woods and a lake. I'm not feeling like the beach scenario, although it could be that, but I'm seeing something that I'm going to say is like woodsy. Woodsy and lake is what I'm seeing. And you're going to be traveling back and forth between where you live in this metropolitan area to this summer home. And I feel that sometimes you will have the ability to do your work from this location. So some of you have the ability to do some work out of your home. And I feel for the most part, you are going to be very, very glad that you made this decision and that you've made this purchase, because it's going to be a great benefit and blessings to you and your family, and your children, whether you've had them yet or you haven't had them yet, or if you have grown children and you have grandchildren on the way. No matter what, I see a lot of people enjoying this location that I'm seeing, this outdoorsy kind of cabin at the woods and lake situation. Now, I'm sorry, Cancer. Please don't shoot the messenger. I really don't like your next card. I'm so sorry. This is for the fourth quarter of the year. But we have to see what the messages are. You have the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords to me is a card that symbolizes, this could either be somebody, you getting stabbed in the back and betrayed, or it could indicate somebody in your life passing away or grieving someone that has passed. I feel for some of you, you have not been treated fairly in a situation, and you may be consulting a lawyer. I feel in some ways, some of you Cancerian people out there have been deprived of your freedom or freedoms, and that you've had some things like stacked up against you. I feel that for some of you, you've really been treated unfairly, and that you've actually come to the end of a cycle, and the cycle has been pretty rough. And I feel that for some of you, you have walked away from a situation that was not fair to you. It was legally not fair. Now, this comes up. It could either be a work situation where your boss fired you unceremoniously, or you got blamed for some things at work that you did not actually do, or some false documents were created and looked like that you were kind of set up, made it look like you did it, like taking insider trading or inside information, and using it to your advantage comes up, or using information to undermine others also comes up. It is also that you could have been ousted from a situation where you were asked to leave a marriage or a relationship that you did not feel that was fair either, like you got cast out. It comes up like you are believed to be in violation of something, whether it's work or family or a relationship, and it was unfair. And I feel that you're going to let the courts decide, because I actually feel like you were treated unfairly and that you may seek legal counsel here. Misappropriation of funds and dividing things unfairly also comes up here. And you may be being asked to forfeit something or to give something up, like some kind of financial abundance that you have, or something to do with financially, like you need to give some money back, or you need to give up some kind of property, or somebody saying you need to pay taxes for something that you didn't think you needed to. I do feel that you will be consulting a lawyer. The thing that may come up here is that you may be having to disprove fraud, because I'm hearing the word fraud. There may be somebody trying to say you were linked to somebody else in this situation, like you were working in tandem with others. I feel that you may be able to prove that some of these things were actually perpetrated by somebody else that you were dealing with, and that you didn't have full knowledge or full disclosure of some things that were going on. I feel you may be accused of a cover-up of some sort. This could take a very big grip on you, Cancer, so please make sure you handle this swiftly. As soon as this comes up, I would go to a lawyer right away. Don't let this lag, drag, or fester with you, because it needs to be dealt with swiftly. You could be able to turn this around and have it go in your favor quickly, but you do need to act quickly, and to see a lawyer. I do feel that you have a very good chance of winning, but you definitely are going to have to put some finances forward to win this. It's not going to be like, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't get like it's a snap or a breeze. So please don't shoot the messenger, Cancer. And remember, try not to get upset, all you Cancerian people out there, because this does not apply to all of you. This is only going to apply to very specific people because it's a very specific situation. So that's the thing with general readings. So don't get upset. You have some really good cards here, but that message is definitely for some of you out there to be as like a warning of something that's coming up, something that's happened already in the past, where some allegations are going to come back to like kind of haunt you of some kind of cover up or deception on your part, misappropriation of funds possibly here. Um, and if you're not that person, then you could be the Cancerian that got like pushed out of a relationship and feel like you got undercut with what your due is financially. If you were in a marriage or in a relationship that split apart, or a business partnership, and then you got shoved out and you're not getting your fair share, you could also be that person. So or if you had a job, if you were working at a job where you got falsely accused by other people at the job, where they've made some false accusations against you and then you got fired because of that in the past. This is something that's happened in the past. I don't feel that this is happening in the fourth quarter of the year. I feel what's happened, it's already occurred, but the legalities of it is what's coming up in the fourth quarter. I feel like this already occurred back in 2014, or at some maybe even further back than that. But it's coming, like the chickens are coming home to roost in this time frame of the fourth quarter. Now, in your card for the month of January 2015, you have the King of Rods. And the King of Rods to me is a fire sign male. This would either be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries. And this is a card, the King of Rods is somebody that is, he's a deep thinker. He's very good in business. He's good at communication in business, but he can be prone to worry and have a lot on his mind, have a lot on his plate. And he can, on the negative side of the King of Rods, he can be prone to anger. Anger and jealousy can be like his downfall. I feel like some of you Cancerian people out there are going to feel like you're at cross purposes with yourself and feeling a little unstable and a little imbalanced. You're going to be trying to tune into the forces around you, the higher forces around you, to get some messages or some stability. I feel that you're going to go into protective mode and you're going to be harnessing your energy in and putting like a protective shell or wall around yourself. I feel this King of Rods is somebody that's going to come in and offer you some kind of support and offer you some kind of stability and balance around you. He's very good at pulling the pieces down of the puzzle and putting them together and making sense of it all and getting the ball rolling. I feel he's very ingenious in building a case and strategizing. So for some of you, I feel he may be your legal counsel or your lawyer. I feel for some of you, you feel like you're stuck like in a corner or like in this tight ball. And I feel like this guy actually comes in to help you get out of it, to like see your way out of that corner that you're backed into. The King of Rods is like the knight in shining armor that comes riding in on the white horse just in the nick of time, just when you need him. He's going to make you feel self-assured and self-confident. He is someone that takes you from one place and then carries you over and leads you to another. So for some of you, I feel he's the lawyer. For some of you, I feel that he is an employer that is going to help you out in your work or in your business. He sees your inner talents and your inner beauty. For some of you, he is actually a romantic partner. I feel in some cases, some of you are really going to be giving over a lot of your power to this man. But I feel like he will treat it gently and carefully and use it wisely. I do not feel that he's going to be harmful or detrimental to you. For some of you, I actually feel that this King of Rods is also a father. He comes in as a father for some of you that feels very cut off, isolated, and alone. He may have had a problem with alcohol or some kind of substance abuse in his past. And he may have been single for quite a while. He feels very alone, and I feel like he doesn't really like his scenario or his situation anymore. Like he feels very depleted of his life force and life energy. He feels very drained. For some of you, if this isn't your birth father, it could be your stepfather. He also may be suffering from some kind of cancer or COPD or some kind of problems with breathing or his lungs, or because I'm getting a bunch of different medical things that could be here with this guy. And so for some of you, this is a father figure that's health is poor and he's not doing well. So this card, as it came up for some of you about legal issues and something coming back to haunt you, remember this is the card I pulled up for January. So for some of you out there that this makes sense to you about not the person that's going to come in and be the knight in shining armor and lead you out of your troubles and ease up your situation, give you self-confidence. If he's the one that's your father, then he very well could pass away in the very end of the year of 2015, like in December. It could happen because when I pick him up about the father figure, he's not doing well with his health. He's having some kind of bodily failures going on here. It could be kidney failure or it could be his lungs. He could have cancer. I'm getting a bunch of different things here. But I also get that he's like, he feels isolated and alone, and he's like physically tired, physically drained, emotionally drained, mentally drained. He's not well. So, and he's coming up as the January card. So it all depends on which Cancer you are and which King of Rods he is, because this card is not going to apply to all of you as the court issue. For those of you, it's not a legal issue coming back at you. This is the passing away of this father or father figure. Could even be an uncle or a grandfather. It's a very strong male figure in your life. To me, it comes up first and foremost as a father or a stepfather. So you've got a couple different things here. That's what makes it difficult about doing a general reading. So try not to get too freaked out on either ends of the score. Life is full of things that are not pleasant, just as long as it's full, life is full of things that are unpleasant, and life is full of things that are beautiful and wonderful. So as much as you have this wonderful harmonious card going on of blessings, you've got some things that are not pleasant as well. So that's the way life goes. So I'm sorry, I don't want to say anything negative for you Cancer people out there, but it's confusing about those two cards. So you're just going to have to think about which makes sense for you and the situation, because I'm getting the Cancer people over here that have the legal issue, and that he's the guy that comes in and is either the lawyer or the voice of reason, the white knight in shining armor that kind of saves the day. Or I have the other Cancerian people where he's your father or stepfather or grandfather or uncle who's been very close to you, but they're not doing well. They have health problems. They're feeling isolated and alone. They don't really feel like doing this anymore. And that he could pass away at the very end of the year. I feel like this would be at the end of December, like right when the year is getting ready to change to 2016. So hopefully that made some kind of sense. Now, in the card for the angels, gods, and goddesses card, you've got the God of Reflections. That is your angel card for the year. Let's see, God of Reflections. And it says, the qualities you see in others are simply your own reflection. Now is time to stand your ground and be firm when anything that is an adverse situation comes your way. You now have the opportunity to right a wrong. This will be a year of joys and losses. So you have a mixed year, definitely a mixed year, Cancer. But I feel that you're going to be getting through it with flying colors, and that when you actually enter into the year of 2016, things will be so much better, because I actually feel like a lot of things, like you have some really good things in this year, don't get me wrong. But I feel like there are any leftover things that have hung around or been an annoyance or a disturbance or a disruption or unpleasant for you gets cleared out in this year of 2015. I feel that you're going to be traveling during the midpoint of the year and seeing some new and interesting things. I see somebody is going to go see Big Ben in London. I see somebody definitely going to England and London in particular. And I feel that you are going to be prepared now for what's coming, so that you will be bracing yourself somewhat and thinking over some of these messages that you heard today. And you're going to know which category you fall into. If you're the person that's got the legal issue that's going to come at you, it's not a surprise. You're going to know. You're going to go, yeah, I understand what that's about. It's not going to be like you're going to be caught unawares. This situation will make sense to you. If that situation does not make sense to you at all, but the father that's got health problems and is isolated and alone, and is not feeling well, and you're going to know whether that's you too. So what I'm saying is, this reading is going to be somewhat of a heads up, so to speak. So you're going to be a little prepared. You're going to have some things lined up in your mind, which is helpful in the sense that it's not going to rock your world. Now, if none of these messages made sense to you at the end of this reading, then I don't feel that they apply to you at all, because I feel that the people that are going to hear this, that it makes sense to, are going to know it right now that it makes sense. Not like you're going to get blindsided and caught unawares. I don't have that feeling here. And I truly feel, and you may get mad at me for saying this, but I really feel 2016 is going to be one of the best years of your life. I feel that this year is going to have extremely high highs, but it may also have some troubling lows. So it's like those things get settled in this year. That's my feeling. So I hope this reading was of help to you, Cancer. And I'd like to ask you if you would please go to my Facebook page, The Lucky Mermaid LLC, and go to my page and like it if you haven't done so already. And go to my wall. I'm going to have instructions on my wall for this month of January on how you can contact me and get 2 of your questions answered. And if you don't see it on my wall, I post things every day, so you may have to scroll down on my wall. I can repost it again, but I'm not going to keep reposting it and reposting it, so you have to scroll down. I may repost this twice, and there will be a deadline of when to get your questions to me by. Um, and if you would go there, and hopefully I can answer your questions for you, two of your questions. And please follow me on Facebook because I post things there every day that you're not going to be able to see here on YouTube. And also follow me on Twitter. I'd like to say thank you so much, Cancer, for watching my videos, for sharing them, and for subscribing. Thank you for Google Plusing. I do truly appreciate you. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.